cause I get a piece of the action. Feeling satisfaction from the street crowd reaction.
Yo, what's poppin', everybody? Welcome. It's your boy Reem. Gonna get back into some stories today here. If you don't know, this is gonna be where I, every Friday, find some wild stories, crazy stories online, and I read it to you guys here, alright? So let's get into it. First story, alright? Yeah. Now let me just say first, before we get started, that I'm gonna be keeping the stories a little bit shorter, because I went overboard in the last one here. So I'm probably gonna pick a good 3 or 4 and we'll keep it short and sweet, alright? Okay. Let's see what we got on the docket here today. Okay, this one person writes in, my crazy story is that one day I was at Target while a man started following me. I thought he was just getting the same thing as me, so I moved on. And when I got done shopping, I realized he was still following me, so I let go of the cart and ran out the store. I got home and texted my boyfriend. Okay, so this is a female. Or, it could be a guy too. I texted my boyfriend and we were talking for a while, but then I saw the same man outside my window. What the fuck? I called the cops and found out that he had been stalking me for a month. Okay, Jesus, that's a wild way to find out you have a stalker, right? I mean, just staying right on the plus side, you wouldn't have found out that there's somebody like following you everywhere you go if it wasn't for that day, that time in Target that you actually found the guy or a person at the time following you. That's crazy. Holy shit, I don't have any stalker stories like that ever happened to me. No, I do actually. Crazy girl I broke up with in the past. She came back and started following months afterwards. But okay. I hope that didn't freak you out to the point where you got some PTSD. Now you just can't shop in Target anymore. Gotta go in Walmart. Alright, moving on. Next story. Somebody writes in, hey Kareem, my name is Eric and I am Indian, and I believe that if you're suddenly woken in your sleep or half sleepy, not completely in your senses, and if you hear a knock or some voice calling out your name, never respond until you know it really is someone trying to get your attention. It's not a good omen if you respond, because it is believed someone you know dies if you respond, and if you don't respond, you prevent that. It is also somewhat true. I've actually had evidence of this. Okay, people have said somebody knocked or called out and they responded and someone died a few days later. I don't know if it's just a coincidence, but whatever it is, better not to respond. Okay, so is this like an Indian myth? Any of my Indians out there, Indian people, have you experienced this? But you would be asleep half the time and you're sleeping. What you respond to in your dream, you're not actually saying out in person. It depends, right? I've had dreams where either I'm running, something is running towards me, and right before it hits me, splat, I wake up and I'm saying the last thing I was about to say in the dream, and now in real life as I'm waking up. But how do you know? Unless somebody's next to you. Hey babe, you was talking in your sleep. Just a regular sleep paralysis where you feel like somebody's just sitting on your chest and you cannot move. For the life of you, trying to move but you can't move. Your legs nothing won't move but your eyeballs. That shit is creepy. Holy shit. Yeah, I remember the first time I experienced that. I was I think 10. And I think at the time, the reason for that, or what everybody was saying, at least for me, what my friends and family told me, was that you shouldn't eat before you go to bed. Because if you do, then you're going to have nightmares and you're going to have problems with the sleep paralysis. I think it's called sleep paralysis, or just that feeling when you wake up, you want to run to the bathroom or something. For some reason, you wake up and you just can't move out of bed. And you get the feeling as if somebody's trying to choke you or something. Alright, but thanks for sending that story in. I gotta research that. Let me know, people, send in some more stories about that shit. If that happened to you, can we actually prove the next day? Because he says the next day, whoever responded in their sleep, someone died a few days later. So would it be a random person? Would that person be close to you? Would it be like a family or friend? Because there's no way of really knowing that. Like, okay, so you answered in your sleep. Now the next day, the mailman dies. There's no way of knowing you actually got him killed. It's just a coincidence, he said. But whatever, it's better not to respond. So if you think it's your mother calling you in your sleep and you answer back, does that mean you're fucked? Or what if your mother is calling you in real life, but you hear it in your dream as another person? And then you answer. I don't know. Alright. I like that one. Alright, moving on. Next story. Oh, just, in case you're wondering why I sound like shit, I just I'm just getting over COVID. Yeah, I got that Rona. And I mean, for me, it was like a cold or like a flu or something like that. Not that I ever took the flu shots either. So I'm just going over this, getting over this sinus infections and sniffing the problem. That is one of the most annoying symptoms when you get a cold. Just the amount of mucus and liquid just coming from your nose. I hate it. All right, next person writes in, when we were kids, one of our friends from the suburbs was a lot richer than us, and we were always at his house. One night, my brother goes over to play Lego Star Wars with him at like 5 p.m. in the winter. So it's dark, and as he gets up to go to the door, he sees a man's silhouette in the trees just staring at him. My brother was about 9 when this happened, so his first instinct was to just ring the doorbell as if nothing was up. Our friend's mother answers the door, and my brother immediately tells her there's a man in the bushes besides the gate to the backyard. He goes to point him out to her, and the man is already gone. Oh, okay. He just teleport? I know it was probably just a thief, but it terrified me at the time. How do you know it was a thief? What it was your long lost father who you always wonder where he disappeared to. If you grew up without a father. Okay. Instantly creepy. Weird story. Let's break this down here. You said it's one night my brother goes Star Wars. He was 9. This definitely has to be back in the day, right? Because his parents aren't as lenient now as they were back then. Back then, it was normal for you just to go outside, ride your bike until the street lights were on, and nobody questioned anything. They question you if you decided to stay inside all day and play games or do nothing instead of going out and playing. Now it's a little different. Everybody's on their devices playing Fortnite. So wow, I just imagine you was allowed to go out 5 p.m. in the winter. That means by 4 o'clock it's already dark. You know, depending where you are. So, but it says it's dark. As he gets up to go to the door, he sees a man's silhouette. Okay, well, yeah, that's messed up. But let's just be grateful you didn't get fucking kidnapped and held for ransom. Fucking abused. Nobody would ever heard from you ass again. Yeah, maybe just don't leave the house at 5 p.m. anymore. That is a traumatizing experience right there. I know that shit would have happened to me. Goes on to point him out. The fact that you go to point him out, he's already gone. It makes me wonder if this person ever came back to the house or some shit. You know, maybe when you was home alone. Fuck, being home alone as a child, it was just really frightening back then. You didn't have much options of stuff to do. Now I don't mind being alone anymore. Alright, moving on. Let's make this a last story, alright? Alright, this next story title reads, what would I be without street smart? Alright, this person goes in to say, my friends couldn't go out with me that night. So I decided to find something fun to do by myself, okay? As you should, right? But I wanted to be spontaneous about it. After I got off the subway, I stopped at the exits deciding whether to choose to get out either east or west. I noticed at that moment that 3 guys abruptly stopped behind me too. They could have easily walked right by me, so I thought it was a bit odd. I chose a direction and then they chose the same as mine. Then I crossed the street and changed random directions. That's good. That's what you gotta do. Smart. The fact that you even called them before you got off, or as you're getting off the subway station, that's good. You're aware of your surroundings, sir. I give you props for that. So then I crossed the street and changed random directions a few times, and sure enough, they were still behind me. I then remember beginning to feel a bit paranoid, so I stopped, turned around, and just glared at them. What? Made face-to-face interactions with your potential kidnappers or muggers. All three made eye contact with me, then quickly looked into different directions, kind of like whistling. What the fuck? Is this a man or a woman? Kind of like whistling. Nothing to see here reaction, he puts in parentheses. And slightly walked into each other as they immediately crossed the street. What kind of cartoon skit is this? I really didn't think I was in danger, but just annoyed about being followed. So that makes me more nervous about the what if situation now. Okay. Listen, I've as a person who's been followed and nearly been, I don't think I've ever gotten robbed, but I've been followed before. I could have got robbed, but I'm always looking back behind me. Hey, if you're not at least doing a couple double takes after each block you cross, I mean, if for wherever you are, if you're walking outside, I know once I get at that train station, I'm eyeing. Once I get on the train station, I'm eyeing every motherfucker around me, you know. And once I get off that stop, I make sure my wallet's still around me and shit. I used to have a bad habit. That thing Robin pointed out, that I would put my wallet in my back pocket. You know, this is the regular thing. As a guy, it's just what you do, but sometimes it's easy for somebody to just slip, you know, take it from you. And I'm not thinking of the reaction. I'm thinking, okay, once that happens, I will just, you know, start fighting. But somebody could just easily take your shit and just start running. So I would always make sure I got my wallet on me. This is before I was walking around. I was carrying my pocket knife or blades or box cutters or whatever. So I didn't even have anything. But I would just always be aware, because I know I've never wanted to get put in that position where it's just multiple guys around me. Sometimes they be planning ahead, you know. They be scoping you out. All right, one person gets to the train following you. By the time you walk up the steps or get to the escalator and get to the corner, just 3 more guys waiting right there. And that's all it takes. Get you in the corner when there's no pedestrians walking, and take your time with you. Whether they mug you or sexually assault you, whatever it is, you know. Yeah, New York's a fucking fucked up place. The world's a fucked up place. But yeah, that was good. You had you had the knowledge to be aware of your surroundings, make sure what stop you at. And I tell Robin that now, you know, because sometimes it's honestly a lot dangerous for women to walking the streets. Anybody young, you know, I don't flash any money, jewelry. If you know me, then you know that's not my stealer. I don't do any of that dumb shit. I like a nice pair of sneakers, but I don't think anybody's getting robbed for sneakers anymore. I mean, you got to really get caught lacking to get your sneakers took up off your feet, you know. Maybe easier for black people because you know, we don't really tie our shoes, so would it be easy to trip a dude and just take his shits? You know, that's if you can catch it, cause we fast. Yeah, that story definitely, I definitely resonate with that story right there. He said he just wanted to be spontaneous, so he got off the subway, stopped at the exits, deciding whether to get out. That's always a clusterfuck for me. Once I hit my destination, okay, boom, I get out. Then now I'm like, okay, which exit should I take to walk out of? Go left, you go right. I always make that confusing decision. And GPS doesn't really tell you shit until you get out of the subway station and regain signal. Oh man, I definitely encountered that a few times. Hey, it's just how the mind reacts. It's nighttime, and you see people coming towards you, people behind you. Your first thing is you could have easily approached them, stop and turn around, or just cross the street. If you cross the street and the people who you think is following you cross the street too, well now you know what to do. Keep up wits about you. You make a couple lefts, make a couple rights. You look behind you, they still still behind you. Maybe sell them your mixtape. I don't think you make it obvious by start running. And where you gonna run to? Of course you know this. Never run straight to your house, because now they know where you are, right? And now they know they can easily just come back with three or more men and get you. Yeah, but for my people out there, be safe, ladies. Be safe. Okay, this is 2022. That still can still happen. It happens all the time to women. I'm sure it happens. I've seen it happen. A couple of my ex-girlfriends it happened to, and sometimes when it happens to a person with a lack of social skills, or anxiety, they'll start panicking. Instead of thinking things out rationally, okay, this person's found me, just tell them to fuck off, they start breaking down and panicking. It's happened to Robin. Robin's gotten followed in vehicles by men, but I don't know how many times. And her first thing is just to call me, because she thinks, well, she's on the phone, nobody's gonna talk to a woman who's on the phone because she already got a guy. But that doesn't. And men, the men out there who still thinks it's okay to follow women in vehicles, what are you doing? Who are you, fucking losers? Jeez, that shit doesn't work. That shit is played out. It's not the 80s no more. All right, everybody got a car now. All right. Fuck off. Respectfully, you're trying to follow her down the street while she's waiting for the bus. You get no play by that. Alright, on that note, I'm going to end it right here. Alright, thanks for listening in. And stay tuned for what we got next week. Alright, these are some good stories right here. I can all relate to it. Well, except for that myth about sleeping and hearing somebody calling your name. I got to do more research about that one. You kind of fucked my head up with that one, homie. Alright, yo. Peace to my guys and peace to the earth. Yeah.